got back there? I said, no, you get a flyer. Live from the tank on the campus of the College of Staten Island, you're watching exclusive men's basketball coverage right here on CSI Sportsnet. This afternoon, the College of Staten Island will take on St. Thomas Aquinas as the Dolphins look to extend their winning streak to 3 straight. Hi, everybody. I'm Mike Babuski here this afternoon as the College of Staten Island, coming off of 2 big victories in a row, are looking to extend that winning streak here this afternoon as they defeated St. Johnson of Wales a week ago here this afternoon at the College of Staten Island by a final score of 75-57. And it was a game where the College of Staten Island came out and shot extremely well from the three-point line and, really had another great game. And that really made it back-to-back great victories for the Dolphins coming off of that win against New York Tech. And the Dolphins are certainly going to have their hands full this afternoon facing a Spartan team that is played really strong basketball here, getting off to a really strong start, winning their first 6 games before dropping their first game of the season in their last contest. And they were coming in ranked 20th in the country. So this is a Spartan team that's played very well. And, we'll get to them in just a minute or so. But just quickly talk about the Dolphins, as we mentioned, coming off of that big win a week ago. And, really haven't had a game since that victory. So Dolphins looking to try to stay hot and continue to play well. Adeola Latunji really playing very well and very effectively offensively, both from the three-point line and from the outside. And the College of Staten Island has really been able to use a aggressive, scrappy style of defense and really overcome some of their rebounding challenges that they've had this year to win their last 2 games and really play well coming off of dropping their first 3 on the road earlier in the season. So for the Dolphins here this afternoon, an opportunity to get back to 500. So a big game here for CSI. And, Adeola Latunji coming off of a game, the game before where he picked up his 1,000th point of the year. As we mentioned, continuing to play well for the College of Staten Island is the Dolphins went 18 for 35 from the three-point line in that game. Rigo Destim, 6 of 10 from the three-point line, also finishing that game with 20 points for the Dolphins. And, Dolphins look to continue that real strong play here this afternoon. And, as we mentioned, this is a St. Thomas Aquinas team that has really played well this year and has a diversified offensive attack and, really going to present a lot of challenges for the Dolphins here this afternoon. Dimitri Roberts averaging 16 points a game for the Spartans. Sekou Cease also averaging 16.7 a game, and Osbel Carbello also coming in at 13.6 points a game. 3 players averaging over double digits. The team averaging just under 80 points a game. So Dolphins really going to have some challenges here this afternoon. And, again, for the Dolphins, they're going to look to see if they can rebound the basketball a little bit better. St. Thomas coming in, averaging about 6 rebounds a game better than their opponent. And, for the College of Staten Island, something they're going to need to improve on. They were out-rebounded in that Johnson and Wales game by a total of 45 to 26. So that's something that the Dolphins are going to need to cut down on. But another real good game protecting the basketball by the Dolphins as they only turn the ball over 11 times while forcing 21 turnovers by the Whales. So we're going to step aside here and take a break as we get ready for the national anthem. And then we'll be back to bring you the starting lineups and get you ready for the start of tonight's game between the Dolphins and the Spartans as you're watching men's basketball coverage exclusively on your voice of everything CSI Sports, CSI Sportsnet, CSIDolphins.com.
Hobra, a taco joint, Staten Island, where we're proud to have shared our family-first spirit with people from throughout New York City and the world. With indoor dining available both at the bar and on the floor. Or step outside for additional seating and an outdoor bar. Serving beer that's crisp, ice cold, and worthy of a day at the beach. Cocktails that explode with flavor. And great food made with the freshest and healthiest ingredients available. Events feature food and drink specials. Live music. And the best of Staten Island nightlife. Your CSI Student ID saves you 10% on your dining order at Hobra. Visit us at 412 Forest Avenue, Staten Island.
When your car is damaged, where you take it is your decision. But insurance companies would like you to think otherwise. While they may have a lot of pull, it may not always be in the best interest of your car. Your car will be fixed right and on time. What insurance company can argue with that?
Call Dependable Auto Body at 718-447-4898.
The Kettle
We're back, and we're just moments away from the start of this afternoon's game between the College of Staten Island and St. Thomas as the Spartans and the Dolphins get ready to battle this afternoon. Let's get you the starting lineups for each team. First for St. Thomas, it'll be number 2, Dimitri Roberts, number 5, Grant Singleton, number 12, Sekou Sis, number 15, Osbel Caraballo, and number 22, Jamar Sudan. For the Dolphins, number 2, Adiola Latunji, number 3, Rigo Desteem, number 5, Austin Mick, number 12, Andrew Cartalis, and number 24, Joseph Ziris, the College of Staten Island, coming into today's game with a record of 2-3 and looking to up their record to 3-3 here this afternoon to get back to 500. So Ziris will jump for CSI here this afternoon. And he will jump against number 12, Siku Sis, as we're just moments away from getting underway here this afternoon. Matinee basketball between the Dolphins and the Spartans. D2 basketball game underway here this afternoon. So Mick brings the ball up across the midcourt line, guarded tightly there by Roberts. Bounce pass goes over to Cartalis. Dolphins with their first possession of the afternoon. Desteam over to Cartalis. His open three-pointer is good, and the Dolphins' red-hot three-point shooting continues on their first attempt here this afternoon, and they lead by a score of 3-0 as they come out and try to show a little bit of a trap here in the early going. Sis with the basketball, getting it over to Roberts. Now it's Sudan with the basketball, and that good Dolphin defense causes the first turnover here this afternoon as Mick will bring the ball up across the midcourt line for the Dolphins. Just underway here this afternoon. Dolphins with their second possession of the afternoon as that's Latunji working the ball in the corner. They work it around the three-point line. Now it's Cartalis feeding it over to Desteam. His open three-pointer is no good. He's there to grab the rebound. Spartans look to run down the floor. Sudan in the corner, working it over to Singleton as the Spartans work the ball inside and out. The open jumper from the baseline is no good. And it'll be Latunji there to grab the rebound for the Dolphins. And now it's Mick as the Dolphins set up offensively. Desteam guarded tightly by Roberts. Dolphins looking to set up offensively. Mick beyond the three-point line. Cartalis driving inside. His floater off the lane is no good, but Cartalis will be called for the offensive foul. So the first foul of the afternoon on the Dolphins as we have an opportunity to see that open three-pointer by Cartalis buried this afternoon. Nick Durst, our engineer, will bring you all those replays here this afternoon. As the Dolphins look to up their winning streak to 3 in a row. Singleton bringing the ball across the midcourt line as the Spartans looking for their first basket of the afternoon as they try to drive inside. As you see the ball knocked away, and it'll be a foul on the Spartans. So the St. Thomas team will inbound the basketball from underneath their basket. 20 seconds on the shot clock as the pass inside, knocked nicely by the Dolphins, and now it's going to be Caraballo called for the travel. So that's going to be the second turnover of the afternoon for the Spartans here in the early going. As St. Thomas coming up and showing a press, and the Dolphins able to get the ball to Cartalis. Nice bounce pass, but a little bit behind Latunji that time as the Dolphins turn the ball over for their second time as well. Roberts happily on the three-point line, and now he'll look to regroup with 18 on the shot clock. Dolphins doing a nice job double-teaming inside. They knock the ball away. And it will remain Spartan basketball now with 14 on the clock. Roberts looking to inbound, and that time Ziris gets his hand on the basketball, and both teams turning the ball over here in the early going. Dolphins with the only basket of the afternoon, and they lead by a score of 3-0. Mick out beyond the three-point line, works the ball over. Open three-point jumper is no good. And Roberts goes high for the rebound. And here come the Spartans. Both teams looking to get on track offensively here in the early going. As that Sudan feeding it inside. Nice couple of passes, but Ziris there to knock the ball away. Mick. So here in the early going, it's been a little bit of both teams trying to find their way offensively. Both teams turning the ball over. 3 turnovers apiece. And it'll be Spartans to inbound the basketball now. That's the Dolphins show press once again. Nice job by the Spartans to work it inside. And that time laying it up and in, it'll be Carabello. First points of the game for the Spartans. Spartans show press once again. As Mick able to bring the ball up the floor and get it over to Ziris. As the Dolphins get the ball across the midcourt line. And now Destine will look to set up offensively. Latunji tried to drive inside, but that time Singleton able to get his hands in and knock it away as Griffin drives inside. That's no good, but we're going to have a whistle. And it looks like we're going to have an offensive foul called on the Spartans as you see that beautiful block by Ziris as he comes over and knocks that one away. Ziris now to inbound the basketball. 1 basket apiece here. And the Dolphins lead 3-2. The steam, Cartalis. The open three-pointer is good. Cartalis with both Dolphin baskets. And they lead 6-2. Singleton. Now Roberts. Back to Singleton. Dolphins trying to trap, but once again, Spartans able to break it. They get it in the corner. An open three-pointer that time by Griffith is no good, and we're going to have a whistle, and we're going to have a foul on the Dolphins, and we're going to have a replay here as you have an opportunity to see Cartalis drill his second three-pointer of the afternoon. We'll step aside, take a break. 15:49 remaining here in the first half. Dolphins lead 6-2. You're watching men's basketball coverage on CSI Sportsnet. We'll be right back.
Seriously, we're listening, and we want to hear from you. As part of CSI's AOD prevention program, we ask that all students please complete the college prevention survey that was recently sent to their .edu email address. Over the past 2 months, you may have seen some of our posters around campus challenging some of the commonly held misconceptions about the drug and alcohol use of CSI students. For example, did you know that 84% of CSI students reported no marijuana use in the last 30 days? Gathering information such as this and using it to better serve the needs of our students is the goal of our survey. Respondents will receive a PG Clue credit and be automatically entered into drawings for $500 in prizes. To access the survey directly, visit www.buffalo.edu/RIA/NYS survey SI. And for additional information, contact the Health and Wellness Services Office.
We're back here with 15 minutes, 49 seconds remaining here in the first half. Andrew Cartalis with a couple of three-pointers, the only scoring of the afternoon for the Dolphins, but it's enough to give them a 6-2 lead as the Spartans will look to inbound the basketball. And they get it in over to Carabello. Now it's Griffith working it over to Roberts. Dolphins doing a nice job defensively once again, but a nice feed inside. That time to Sissy tried to jam it home, but the Dolphins come away with the rebound and the basketball. Mick out beyond the midcourt line, now feeds it over to Destine. Now it's Latunji working the ball inside, kicking it back. Ziris with the three-pointer, and that's good as the Dolphins' red-hot three shooting continues. They have 3 here in the first 5 minutes, and they now lead by a score of 9-2. As we're going to have a whistle, and that time we're going to have a foul out on the floor, and that foul will be on the Dolphins. But first, you have an opportunity to see Ziris step back and drill that three-pointer for the Dolphins. As now it'll be the Spartans with the basketball. They work it inside. That shot is no good by Sis, but that time he's able to grab his own rebound and lay it up and in. And that time we're going to have a technical foul call because Sis knocked the ball out of the hands of Cartalis before he inbounded. So we'll see how the officials sort this one out. Chris Velasquez checking into the game for the Dolphins. As we have an opportunity to see that that's going to result in a technical foul, that kind of slapping of the ball out of bounds. As Latunji will go to the free throw line. He hits the free throw. Latunji. Shooting very well from the three-point line this year. And now it'll be the Dolphins to inbound the basketball with 30 seconds on the shot clock. Once again, the Spartans show press, and the Dolphins able to get it up the floor as that's Mick with the basketball now. Working against Roberts. Dolphins with a 6-point lead now, 10-4. Latunji. Now Ziris trying to work inside. He stumbles and falls and gets called for the travel. So that time Ziris trying to work the ball inside, but lost his footing. It gets called for the travel. So Dolphins turn it over for the fourth time here this afternoon. So Roberts will check out of the game. And Marcus Stevens checks in for the Spartans. As the Dolphins try to work in the backcourt once again. Singleton able to get it across the midcourt line and feed it over to Griffin. Inside now to Carabello. He kicks it out to Griffith, whose three-pointer is good. Griffith, a 36% three-point shooter coming into the game. It's now a three-point game as the Dolphins turn it over, and Griffith able to take it to the basket and lay it up and in. And we're going to have a whistle and a timeout, and it'll be a 30-second timeout. So we'll keep it right here as you have an opportunity to see Griffith bury that three-pointer that brought the Spartans to within 10-7. Then Griffith able to come away with the turnover, take it right to the hoop, lay it up and in, and make it a 10-9 game. So now the Dolphins lead down to 1 here in this first half. Dolphins once again hitting from the three-point line. They have three-pointers here early this afternoon. And a 1-point lead as they'll inbound the basketball here with 14 minutes remaining here in this first half. As once again, we have a trap in the backcourt by the Spartans, and we're going to have a whistle and a foul as Velasquez goes down. So that foul is going to be called on Gilbert. That's his first. As the Dolphins inbound the basketball once again, but this time they turn it over. And, you know, we mentioned in their previous win against Johnson and Wales, the Dolphins turning the ball over just 11 times. And they've turned the ball over here at least 5 times now in this first half in the early going. Spartans work the ball across now as Stevens puts the three-pointer up, and that's good. And St. Thomas takes the first lead by a score of 12-10. Mick, bounce pass now over to Ziris. Ziris pulls up for the three-pointer. That's going to be no good, but he's going to draw the foul, and he will go to the free throw line now to shoot three. We have an opportunity to take a look as Ziris' first free throw is up and in. So that next free throw is up as you had an opportunity to see that three-pointer that time by Marcus Stevens. Dolphins come back now to tie the game at 12. One more upcoming for Ziris, and his last one is up no good. So he hits 2 of 3, and it's a 12-12 game as the Dolphins try to press. But once again, it's Stevens taking the three-pointer. That's no good, but Latunji goes up high to grab the rebound for the Dolphins, and now it'll be Destim with the basketball. Desteem. Bounce pass now over to Velasquez. That pass, though, telegraphed a little bit, and driving down the floor is Stevens, who lays it up and in. 14-12 now. Spartans by 2. As Ziris will bring the ball across the midcourt line for the Dolphins. Now they'll get the ball in the hands of Mick as the Dolphins will set up. 15 on the shot clock. Is taking the ball strong to the hole that time and able to save it beautifully that time is Desteem. And now it'll be Velasquez as we're going to have a whistle and 14 on the shot clock. And Dolphins are going to have the ball on the side court as we sort out the shot clock issue. As the shot clock will be reset now to 27. And I don't believe that'll be right. We'll let the officials sort it out. So the Dolphins to inbound here as that's Ziris with the basketball, getting it out over to Mick. As the Dolphins look to set up offensively, now it's Ziris, Velasquez in the corner. Mick putting up the open three-pointer, that's no good. And Griffith there to grab the rebound for the Spartans. Stevens, Griffith working the ball over to Roberts. He tried to drive inside, but Latunji there to take the ball away and feed it to Desteem. Desteem working his way inside and gets called for the travel. So another turnover on the Dolphins. So the Dolphins will turn the ball over again. Here come the Spartans as they get the ball down the floor. Nice feed that's inside to Stevens. The shot was no good, and the Spartans couldn't control the rebound, and then they're going to get called for the offensive foul, as that's going to be on Siku Cease, and that's going to be his second.
Hands off.
And the Dolphins will inbound as Spartans have been pressing in the backcourt all game long, and they continue to do so as Mick gets it over to Delahanty, who's checked into the game for the Dolphins. Mick at the three-point line. He puts up that three-pointer off the back rim, no good. Griffith there for the rebound. Griffith picking up the dribble now, getting it out over to Roberts. Spartans now look to work it inside to Cease. He kicks it in the corner. Now to Griffith, who hits that three-pointer, and Griffith has hurt the Dolphins. He's the leading scorer for the Spartans with 8, including 2 from the three-point line. And the Spartans have their biggest lead of the game. It's 5, but Latunji driving right back, but he misses the layup and sits there to grab the rebound now for the Spartans. Roberts, Griffith now kicking it out. Extra pass now to Stevens. His three-pointer is up, no good. And that ball will roll out of bounds. And it will be Dolphins possession as we have an opportunity to see Griffith bury his second three-pointer of the afternoon. So we'll step aside, take a break. 11 minutes, 1 second remaining in the first half. Dolphins down 17-12. You're watching men's basketball coverage on CSI Sportsnet, CSIDolphins.com.
Hobra, a taco joint, Staten Island, where we're proud to have shared our family-first spirit with people from throughout New York City and the world. With indoor dining available both at the bar and on the floor. Or step outside for additional seating and an outdoor bar. Serving beer that's crisp, ice cold, and worthy of a day at the beach. Cocktails that explode with flavor. And great food made with the freshest and healthiest ingredients available. Events feature food and drink specials, live music, and the best of Staten Island nightlife. Your CSI Student ID saves you 10% on your dining order at Hobra. Visit us at 412 Forest Avenue, Staten Island.
We're back with 11 minutes, 1 second remaining here in this first half. Dolphins got off to a fast start, but the Spartans starting to heat up, and they have a 5-point lead as the Dolphins will inbound the basketball now. In their side court, the Spartans have been pressing all game long, and they continue to do so as the Dolphins get the ball over to Velasquez. Velasquez, a nice job to beat the double-team press and get the ball across the midcourt line. Delahanty remaining on the floor now, along with Latunji, Destime, Velasquez, and Mick for the Dolphins. Mick out at the three-point line to Latunji. Now Destime. Destime, nice stutter step. Baseline jumper is good. So Destime with his first basket of the afternoon. The Dolphins cut it to 3 now, 17-14. Stan with the basketball. Now feeding it out over to Roberts. They get it now to the free throw line extended over to Sis. Sis, the off-balance hook jumper is no good, but he's able to grab the rebound. And it'll be a fresh 20 now. But we're going to have a turnover once again by the Spartans. So both teams turning the ball over as you have an opportunity to see that nice baseline jumper, that time by Destime as Rigo picks up his first basket of the afternoon as the Dolphins will inbound now, down by 3. Mick looking to work against Roberts. Gets it up over to Destime. Wrong cross-court pass over to Velasquez. And now the Dolphins will set up offensively with 17 on the shot clock. Mick able to use the Delahanty screen. Now kicks it over to Velasquez. Velasquez, the contested three-pointer, is good. Nice shot that time by Velasquez. He's hit a couple of big three-pointers the last couple of games for the Dolphins. And the Dolphins now on a 5-0 run. And they've tied this game up at 17 as we have a 30-second timeout on the floor. So we're going to keep it right here as we have an opportunity to see Velasquez put that three-pointer up with Griffith hand right up in his face, but he was able to hit it. And, you know, we mentioned the Dolphins really doing a great job from the three-point line, and they continue to shoot well from the three-point line here so far this evening. And Velasquez has started to improve on his three-point shooting and had a couple of big ones in the last Dolphin win against Johnson and Wales. And the Dolphins now riding a 5-0 run over the last 90 seconds or so to tie this one up at 17. Singleton now putting up the three-pointer. That's no good, but that time using his strength inside his Siku Sis as he's able to get that one in, his second basket of the afternoon, and that lead gives the Spartans a 2-point lead. Destime working hard to get the ball across the midcourt line, and now gets it out over to Mick. Now it's Latunji. Latunji quiet here this afternoon, now working the ball up over in the corner. Destime wanted the foul on the three-pointer, doesn't get it. And here come the Spartans. Roberts. They feed the ball inside, working the ball out over in the corner now as Roberts puts up that three-pointer and buries it. And the Spartans answer the Dolphin 5-point run with a 5-point run of their own. And they lead by 5 once again. Velasquez working out in the corner to Latunji. Latunji's open three-pointer, a little bit off balance and no good. And here come the Spartans, looking to see if they can get their biggest lead of the game. The open three-pointer that time is no good, and that time Latunji mistimed his jump on the rebound, and standing right there with Sis for the easy putback. He has 6, and the Spartans have their biggest lead of the game. It's 7, 24-17. Velasquez now out over to Mick. Dolphins working the ball around the three-point line. Mick putting up the three-pointer. That's no good. He's been 0 for 3 from the three-point line here this afternoon. And now Roberts with the basketball. And an opportunity for the Spartans to expand on this 7-0 run. Carabello working the ball back to Roberts. Now it's Singleton. Singleton kicking it out over to Roberts inside the 2 on the shot clock. Singleton putting up the open three-pointer and burying it. So the Dolphins do a nice job defensively right down to the buzzer. But the Spartans able to hit the three-pointer and open up their biggest lead of the game. It's 10, 27-17. Mick with the basketball, and now the Dolphins are going to take a timeout as the Dolphins have fallen behind by 10, and they were able to live on the three-pointer against Johnson and Wales, but it's a tough place to live, and Dolphins needing to get the ball inside the paint a little bit as we have an opportunity to see that three-pointer by Singleton as the shot clock was expiring, and that one really hurt as that allowed the Spartans to open up their lead. And then you see another three-pointer, back-to-back three-pointers, that time by St. Thomas Aquinas. And they've opened up the lead on a 10-0 run. The Dolphins able to tie this one up at 17. But since that time, over the last 2 minutes or so, the Spartans have been able to really open up the lead. It's 10 now. 27-17 is Joe Foreman coming over, bringing us the stats here as we take a look at some of the numbers. 15-7 on the rebounds. Once again, 5-0 on the offensive end. We mentioned the Dolphins' struggle in their last game against Johnson and Wales. Even in that victory, the Dolphins out-rebounded 45-26, including 20-5 on the offensive glass. Here getting out-rebounded 15-7 so far. Another big difference. If you go back to that game, Dolphins only turning the ball over 11 times for the game. Dolphins already with 9 turnovers here in this first half with 7:09 remaining. And those factors have allowed the Spartans to open up the lead now to their biggest of the game. It's 10. St. Thomas 11 of 23 from the floor. Dolphins with just one 2-point basket as Latunji jumping his way inside, and we're going to have a whistle and a blocking foul. That time called on the Spartans as it's Devontae Jamison who checked into the game, the freshman from Dorchester, Massachusetts, as Latunji took the ball to the basket and they tangled up. And Jamison got called for the block, and Latunji will go to the free throw line and hits the first. That breaks a 10-0 Spartan run and draws the Dolphins back to within 9. Adiola's second is up and in. So Latunji hits both of his free throws, and he's really done well hitting his free throws here so far in 2019. Jamison working it out over to Singleton. Back out in the corner now as it's Sudan with the basketball. As this time the Spartans looking to kick the ball inside with Jamison working it out. Good hands that time, and the ball's going to be knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Brandon Smith. So a couple of freshmen checking into the game here for the Spartans. And the Dolphins get the turnover now. And they'll look to bring the ball up the floor as I think we can expect the Spartans to press the remainder of the afternoon. And that time Velasquez able to draw the foul. Let's see who they give it on. And that's going to be on Singleton, and I believe that's Singleton's second. It is. So Ziris will inbound the basketball. 16 fouls now on the Spartans. So the Dolphins will inbound with 20 on the shot clock. New NCAA Division II rule, 20 seconds on fouls in the front court as we're going to have a whistle. And at the time it looked like Latunji got run over by Osbel Carabello. Was 6'5" sophomore player, and he's going to actually they're going to call that foul on Smith as the 6'2" freshman will pick up the foul. Latunji will go to the free throw line. He hits the first. He's got 4 all from the line, and he'll have one more coming. as he misses the second. So a couple of free throw misses for Adiola here this evening. And it'll be the Spartans with the basketball down by 7. 27-20. Worked inside that time to Carabello, and it'll be the Dolphins picking up the foul inside this time. And Austin Mick is going to pick up the foul. That's going to be his first, team's 5th. So that's going to send Carabello to the line to shoot 2. As the first is up and in. .78% free throw shooter, coming in averaging just over 13.5 points a game. As Carabello's second is up, no good, and that time we're going to have Sudan going for the foul, and it's going to be Ziris picking up the personal on the inside. So Ziris picks up his second, team 6. So now it'll be the Spartans to inbound the basketball as they work the ball around the perimeter now and get it over to Griffith. Griffith getting it back at the three-point line now with Sudan inside of 10 on the shot clock. Carabello trying to work his way inside. He's able to muscle it up and lay it in. So Carabello with a free throw and a basket on that possession. He has 5, and the Spartan lead is back up to 10, 30-20. Velasquez with the basketball. Now it's Mick. Mick working it over to Cartalis. Now Ziris. Velasquez, short jumper inside the lane, and Velasquez really showing a lot of confidence on the offensive end as he picks up his second basket of the afternoon. He has 5, and it's now a 30-22 Spartan lead. Roberts with the basketball. Roberts working it across now to Singleton, now in the corner as fighting his way to the basket. It's Carabello, and misses the layup, and Cartalis is there to grab the rebound for the Dolphins. Mick, pestered by Roberts. Bounce pass goes up over to Velasquez. Velasquez working against Griffith. Now Cartalis with room for that three-pointer. That's no good. And Griffith grabs the rebound now for the Spartans. Griffith, Singleton. They try to work it inside to Carabello. He draws the double team. Now Griffith, one extra pass to Singleton. His open three-pointer halfway down and out. But the Spartans able to grab the rebound and able to keep the ball in the front court. That time, blocked that time on Sudan by Ziris, but instead Ziris is going to pick up the foul. Big foul that time on Ziris because that's going to be his 3rd. With 4 minutes and 10 seconds remaining in the first half. I don't know about that one, Nick. Tough foul on Ziris. He didn't like the call. And that's going to send Sudan to the line to shoot 2. He hits the first. Sudan, a 75% free throw shooter coming in. One more upcoming, and that's good. And the Spartans match their biggest lead of the game. It's 10 as we have an opportunity to see that shot by Ziris. And, he was kind of backing away, and it looked like he got all ball, but the official disagreed. And now the Dolphins will look to inbound as Spartans continue to press the Dolphins. The Dolphins have done a nice job of handling it here tonight. Is that time streaking to the hole and getting his first basket of the evening is Latunji. He has 6, and that draws the Dolphins to within 8, 32-24. Mick with the basketball now for the Dolphins. As head coach T.J. Tibbs calling out a play, and the Dolphins will look to set up offensively. Delahanty. Destine with the basketball. He hands it to Mick. Mick looking for his first three-pointer. That's no good. And a nice job that time by Singleton getting the rebound over Latunji. Carabello, tough floater from the lane is good. Beautiful shot that time by Osbel Carabello. 6'5" sophomore player. He has 7. And it's a 10-point lead for the Spartans once again, 34-24. Mick with the basketball, hands off to Velasquez. Destine, now Mick. Mick working the ball over to Destine. Tough three-pointer that time is up, no good. And the rebound grab by Roberts. Roberts, nice feed that time. Inside to Cease, they kicks it out to Carabello's open three-pointer is good. And he's been a force over the last couple of minutes. And he gives the Spartans their biggest lead of the afternoon as they're now on a 5-0 run and lead by a score of 37-24. Velasquez with the basketball. Velasquez working the ball out over to Latunji. Latunji trying to dish the ball off, and Dolphins have done a better job of protecting the basketball of late, but at time they turn it over as you have an opportunity to see Latunji take that one to the basket and lay it up and in. So we're going to have a whistle and a timeout on the floor as we have a break now. 2 minutes, 15 seconds remaining in the first half. Spartans 37, Dolphins 24. We'll step aside, take a break, and we'll be right back.
Kettle Black on Staten Island, a top 5 wing joint in America by Food and Wine magazine. Serving daily lunch and dinner at the bar or on the floor. Perfect for family and group parties with top shelf drink and delicious food. From great times with good friends, live sports and watch parties, to Staten Island's hottest nightlife. The Kettle Black features live music and DJs weekly. The Kettle Black features daily and nightly food and drink specials. The best Staten Island has to offer is at the Kettle Black. We'll see you there at the Kettle Black, located on 415 Forest Avenue, Staten Island.
We're back here with 2 minutes and 15 seconds remaining here in this first half, and Spartans going on a run of 5-0, and they've opened up their biggest lead of the afternoon, 37-24, as you have an opportunity to see that three-pointer by Carabello, who has 10 points, and I believe 8 of them have been in the last couple of minutes as he's been on fire. He's been a force inside. And then you see him stepping back and hitting that three-pointer. So you saw one from inside the paint, a fadeaway, and then a three-pointer for Osbel Carabello as the first shot of a 1-1 is up and in. As that was Dimitri Roberts hitting that first free throw, an 85% free throw shooter. Spartans shoot over 75% as a team, which is a excellent team free throw shooting rate. And they continue on their run now, as that time taking the ball into the basket and laying it up and in is Latunji. He has 8. And that breaks the Spartan run and draws the Dolphins back to within 13. Griffith with the basketball. Griffith thought about the open three-pointer, now dribbles it inside, kicks it out now to Roberts. Roberts' floater in the lane is up, no good, but he'll draw the foul. So that foul will be on Austin Mick. He now has 2, so Dolphins started to get themselves in foul trouble as have an opportunity to see Latunji take that one to the basket and lay it up and in for his 7th and 8th point, as Roberts goes to the line to shoot 2 and misses the first. This game was tied at 17, and then it was the Spartans able to go on a 10-0 run And they've been able to keep the lead up around 10 or so since then, and now lead by 14, 40-26. Mick with the basketball, able to get the ball across the midcourt line. Long court down pass to Latunji. That time, Delahanty and Latunji kind of got in each other's way, and that time Akobu with the rebound for the Spartans. Roberts working the ball inside now, gets it over to Carabello. Carabello trying to drive inside. That time a nice play by Mick to force the turnover. Good defensive play by the Dolphins as they look to try to close down this gap. Spartans now with the turnover. Stevens feeding it inside. A wide open Carabello jams it home. 12 for Carabello. As that time Velasquez able to beat the press, and the Dolphins bring the ball across the midcourt line, and now he'll look to set up offensively as the Dolphins now find themselves down 16, 42-26. Mick with the basketball. Now it's Latunji. Latunji over to Velasquez. Beautiful feed inside to Delahanty, who lays it up and in. Dolphins needed that one. 42-28 as the clock winds down to inside of 10 seconds remaining here in this first half. Griffith with the basketball. Now it's Stevens. Over to Roberts. That long three-pointer is up. No good. Latunji will be there to grab the rebound, and that's going to do it. And the Dolphins will go into halftime down by 14, 42-28 as men's basketball coach TJ Tibbs, nice enough to come over here and join us at halftime. College of Staten Island finds themselves down by 12 by a score of 42-28. And Coach, Dolphins coming out playing well in the beginning of the first half, but a little bit of a lull, and good job by St. Thomas take care of the basketball offensively.
Yeah, well, that's why they're one of the best teams in the country year in and year out. I mean, Tobin and the staff do an incredible job. Kids are always ready to play. They play hard. We got on them early, but they came right back like a championship program does. But, we got to take care of the ball a little bit better in a half court. I think we're doing a pretty decent job against their press. Their press is relentless, so they're going to get us, but they got us a couple of times here in the half court. Other than that, a couple of really good defensive possessions by us, which ended with an open three for them, and I'm proud. We played hard for 29 minutes. They got an open shot. They knocked it down. That's what good teams do.
Coach, a couple of plays with 2 fouls. Zeris picked up his third in the second half. What are you going to do in the second half? A couple plays in foul trouble.
Well, they got to play. And we got to figure that out because I think that last one was on Cartalis, which would give him his third. But they know they got to play. We got to go out there and continue to play hard. We can't save you for another game. And I know Joe Zeris, Cartalis, everybody on the team, they're smart players, so they're going to handle the foul trouble the right way.
Thanks for coming over, Coach.
Thanks for having me.
Head coach TJ Tibbs, nice enough to join us here at halftime, where the College of Staten Island finds themselves down by 14, 42-28. And, this was a game that was tied at 17, so you could do the math from there as the Dolphins get outscored 25-11, and they find themselves down by 14, as you see a couple of highlights in the basket or in the background as the College of Staten Island looking to get back, and to get back in the second half, they're going to have to stop plays like that. Carabello going right to the basket, and really playing a great first half for the Spartans as he finishes with 12 points on 5 of 6 shooting. As you see, another outside jumper there by Osbell. So we're going to step aside and take a break. Dolphins find themselves down at halftime by 14, 42-28. You're watching men's basketball coverage exclusively on your voice of everything CSI Sports, CSI Sportsnet, CSIDolphins.com.
They said I couldn't dream. called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
When your car is damaged, where you take it is your decision. But insurance companies would like you to think otherwise. While they may have a lot of pull, it may not always be in the best interest of your car. Your car will be fixed right and on time. What insurance company can argue with that?
Call Dependable Auto Body at 718-447-4898.
Hi, Meals on Wheels. I'm Marco. I'm a college student, and I volunteer as a driver for Meals on Wheels. I think it's awesome meeting these people. I mean, they're so interesting. They've had so many wonderful experiences in life. Your community helps to raise you up into the person that you become. Meals on Wheels is a great way to give back to that community.
Hobra, a taco joint, Staten Island, where we're proud to have shared our family-first spirit with people from throughout New York City and the world. With indoor dining available both at the bar and on the floor. Or step outside for additional seating and an outdoor bar. Serving beer that's crisp, ice cold, and worthy of a day at the beach. Cocktails that explode with flavor. And great food made with the freshest and healthiest ingredients available. Events feature food and drink specials, live music, and the best of Staten Island nightlife. Your CSI Student ID saves you 10% on your dine-in order at Hobra. Visit us at 412 Forest Avenue, Staten Island.
Listen, you're my friend.
I noticed you haven't really been yourself recently.
Yeah, I feel like something's up.
How are you?
Are you okay?
Is there anything you want to talk about?
I just want to know how you're feeling.
And listen, even if you don't know what to say, I'm here to talk.
No matter what you're going through,
I just want you to know I'm here.
I've got your back. When you want to talk, I'm here.
The Kettle Black on Staten Island, a top 5 wing joint in America by Food and Wine magazine. Serving daily lunch and dinner at the bar or on the floor. Perfect for family and group parties with top shelf drink and delicious food. From great times with good friends. Live sports and watch parties. To Staten Island's hottest nightlife. The Kettle Black features live music and DJs weekly. The Kettle Black features daily and nightly food and drink specials. The best Staten Island has to offer is at the Kettle Black. We'll see you there at the Kettle Black, located on 415 Forest Avenue, Staten Island.
We're back here at halftime where the College of Staten Island trails the Spartans by a score of 42-28 as St. Thomas has been able to come out here this afternoon and hit 15 of 31 from the field, while at the same time out-rebounding the Dolphins by a score of 22-10 as you have an opportunity to take a look at the halftime stats up on your screen as St. Thomas shooting 15 of 31, the Dolphins 9 of 22. So a lot more shots for the Spartans, and they've been able to hit their three-pointers here this afternoon as they're 6 of 14, shooting 43%, while Dolphins not bad at 28, but certainly nowhere near that 50% performance that the Dolphins are coming off of a week ago here this afternoon, as the Dolphins shot 18 of 35 for the game, and it's tough to make a living shooting 50% at the three-point line. So the Dolphins are going to have to find a way to maybe work the ball inside a little bit more and find themselves some opportunities to get some easy baskets, as they've been taking a lot of three-pointers here so far this afternoon. And Dolphins also turning the ball over. They turned the ball over 11 times in that first half, compared with just 8 for St. Thomas in the win over Johnson and Wales a week ago. Dolphins turning the ball over just 11 times on the afternoon. And, of course, let's not forget, Spartans, one of the top Division II basketball teams in the country. So the Dolphins, once again, playing another tough team here in Division II this afternoon. And, you know, if you're the Dolphins, that's what you're looking for as the Dolphins continue to play strong competition here in 2019. And we mentioned Dolphins got off to a good start here this afternoon, and St. Thomas able to come back and tie this game up at 12, going on a 5-0 run to take a 17-12 lead. Dolphins with a run of 5 of their own to tie it up at 17, but from that point on, it was St. Thomas as they were able to ride a 10-0 run to take a 27-17 lead. Dolphins closed it within 8 a couple of times, getting it to 32-24, but then a 10-4 run to close the first half, and that's the 40-28 lead that you see out on your scoreboard for the Dolphins. To get back in the game here in the second half, they're going to really need to find a way to try to rebound the basketball a little bit more effectively, as they were getting pounded inside here this afternoon. And, again, they're allowing nearly 50% shooting for the Spartans in that first half. And, Dolphins find themselves trailing by a score of 14. Looking at the personal fouls, Cartalis picking up his third foul, not Ziris. So Cartalis with 3, Ziris and Mick with 2 apiece. 2 personal fouls apiece for Singleton and Sekou Sis, the only 2 players in foul trouble. And Dolphins without a single offensive rebound in that first half, getting out-rebounded 7-0. And Dolphins also looking for a way to get some points in the paint, as they haven't really been able to get inside of this St. Thomas defense. So why don't we step aside and take one final break, about 3 minutes or so away from the start of the second half. Dolphins trail by a score of 42-28. You're watching men's basketball coverage right here in CSI Sportsnet, CSIDolphins.com.
Hi, may I please have an application? Thank you.
Skip the drama. Get your diploma.
Okay.
Take that first step towards a better future. Find free adult education classes at finishyourdiploma.org.
As an American, it's hard to hear that we have a serious hunger issue in our country. And as a parent, it's even harder to hear that 1 in 5 of our kids struggles with hunger, especially when billions of pounds of good food are wasted every year. Feeding America is a nationwide network of food banks that helps provide billions of meals to families in need right in your community. Visit feedingamerica.org to support Feeding America and your local food bank. Together we can solve hunger. Together, we're Feeding America.
Thank you. You got a king?
Go fish! In your face! In your face!
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today.
There's one thing you can never have sex without.
It's not something you buy.
Or something you take.
In fact, there's only one way to get it.
It has to be given to you, freely.
It's consent.
Because sex without it isn't sex.
It's rape. Consent.
If you don't get it, you don't get it.
It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge.
We're back here at halftime where the College of Staten Island trailing by a score of 42-28 against St. Thomas as the Dolphins really looking to bounce back here in the second half. And just give you a little bit of an update as the women's basketball team doing a great job down the road against Wagner College, trailing by a score of 31-25 with 8 minutes and 43 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. So the Dolphins doing a great job at Wagner as they've hung in there through the first half, and they've just picked up the last basket and now trail by 6, 31-25. So we'll keep an eye on that game for you here in the second half. Here at the Tank at the College of Staten Island, taking a look at the leading scorers here this afternoon for St. Thomas. It's Osbel Carabello with 12, 8 for Lewis Griffith, 6 apiece for Dimitri Roberts and Saku Cease. For the College of Staten Island, Adiola Latunji leads the Dolphins in scoring. He has 8. 6 points for Cartalis on 2 of 3 from the three-point line. Ziris and Velasquez with 5 points apiece. Dolphins 9 of 22 from the field in that first half, just under 41%. For St. Thomas Aquinas, they were 15 of 31, just under 49% in that first half. 6 of 8, both teams from the free throw line in the first half. So it'll be the Spartans to inbound the basketball, and we're underway here at half number 2. Roberts with the basketball as St. Thomas will have the first possession here in this second half, and they're able to get the ball inside. And that's going to be Sudan with his second basket as St. Thomas continues to press the Dolphins. They've pressed the entire 20 minutes, and they'll probably press the entire second half as well. 44-28 now, Spartans in the lead. Mick with the basketball. Bounce pass now inside over to Latunji. Dolphins forced to working the ball around the perimeter. Destine puts up the three-pointer. That's up and no good. And, Dolphins can try to hit those three-pointers. Now 4 of 15. As Dolphins have not been as successful here this afternoon. Singleton, he puts up the three-pointer and he buries it as Singleton now 2 of 4 from the three-point line. He has 6, and the Spartans have opened their lead up to 19 now. 47-28. Singleton picking up his third foul in the backcourt, and the sophomore can't believe it, but he's going to get called for the foul. That will be the first team foul of this second half as you have an opportunity to see Singleton drill that three-pointer before committing the foul. Mick with the basketball. Dolphins outscored in this second half by a score of 5-0 early on and have dropped now down 19 points. Ziris has the ball knocked away. They work the ball in the corner now to Latunji. Back up over to Ziris, and his three-pointer is good. Big three-pointer there by Joe Ziris, and that makes it a 47-31 game. Singleton over to Roberts. Roberts feeding it inside to Sis. Sis trying to power his way inside. He can't hit the shot, but he can draw the foul. And that's going to be on Latunji as he'll pick up his second as you see Ziris drill his second three-pointer of the game. And Cease will go to the free throw line to shoot two. He hits the first, and he'll have one more upcoming. 7 of 9 from the line. That second is up, no good. And a nice play that time by Sudan to keep the ball alive. But it looked like Carabello stepped on the end line trying to keep it in bounds. So it'll be Dolphin basketball. Ziris, bounce pass, goes out over to Mick. Mick able to work the ball across the floor. Dolphins have done a very good job working against a very tough presses. Ziris taking the ball to the hole and laying it up and in. Ziris now the first Dolphin in double digits. He has 10. The Dolphins trail by 15, but Sudan able to get right inside the Dolphin defense and get his second basket. He has 6. Cortalis, Desteem looking to work his way inside. Instead, Dolphins turn the ball over. And here come the Spartans as they work the ball in the corner. The open three-pointer by Singleton is good. Nice outside-inside attack for the Spartans. And they open up their lead to 20 as forcing its way inside that time is Latunji. He can't hit the shot, but he does draw the foul. Carabello will pick up the foul as you have an opportunity to see the Dolphins hit that layup. So Latunji going to the line to shoot 2. His first is up and in. He'll have one more upcoming. As you see, Singleton buried that three-pointer. Spartans coming out very well, playing very efficiently here in the second half. And the Dolphins looking to work their way back into this game. 53-35, Spartans with the lead and the basketball. Roberts looking to feed it inside, and we're going to have a whistle and foul, and that looks like it's going to be on Ziris. It will, and he picks up his third. Both teams with 2 team fouls here in the second half. Ball's going to be knocked out of bounds. Last touch by the Dolphins. So it will remain Spartan basketball. 19 on the shot clock as Singleton looking to inbound. Singleton lobs it into Roberts. Guarded there by Cortalis. Working the ball around now to Sist. Back out over to Roberts. Carabello, nice couple of passes inside. Sudan went for the jam but lost control. And it'll be Desteem coming away with the basketball for the Dolphins. We go with just 2 points here on the afternoon after that big scoring game against Johnson and Wales with 20. Desteem working his way inside and laying it up and in. Nice move that time by Rigo. He picks up his second basket of the game. Sudan with the basketball now with 20 seconds on the shot clock. Now Roberts over to Singleton. He's been feeling the three-pointers. That one will be an air ball. It'll be out of bounds, and it'll be Dolphin basketball. Substitution here is Griffith will come in. He'll replace Singleton as you see Sudan going for that jam. But good defensive play by the Dolphins to knock that one away. And we're going to have our first timeout here in the second half. 16 minutes remaining. Dolphins trail 53-35. You're watching men's basketball coverage right here on CSI Sportsnet, CSIDolphins.com.
Champions know how to seize opportunities. When they see moments of greatness unfold right before their eyes, they push as hard as they possibly can, and then they push harder. Because the heart of a champion never settles, never quits, and never stops giving its all. We are champions. We are Division II. We go big, we give it everything we've got, and we win. On the field, on our campuses, in our communities, for our causes, in our careers. We rise to become champions in everything we do. We are Division II, and there are no limits here. We make our time count. We set our own path. We become champions on our terms. It's time to up your game, because we're here to play and learn. But most importantly, we're here to discover ourselves, our vision, our heart, our drive, to achieve every goal we aim for, because we want to be champions at the highest level, life. At Division II, the opportunities are here. Are you ready?
We're back here with 16 minutes even remaining here in this second half. Dolphins find themselves down by 16, 53-37, as the Dolphins able to break the press, get the ball down the floor quickly, as Latunji able to lay it up. He misses the shot, but he'll go to the free throw line, and Adiola 6 of 7 from the line here this afternoon. The Dolphins doing well from the line, 8 of 10. And they need to get themselves back in the game, as that first free throw is up and no good. Tunji just missing one free throw the other night, as the second free throw is up and in, so he splits the pair. And St. Thomas finds themselves up by 15, 15-45 remaining here in this second half, as the Dolphins trying to inch their way back into this one. Kick out in the corner now to Griffith. Griffith trying to lob the ball inside to Carabello. That shot knocked away beautifully, but instead we're going to have a whistle and a foul on the play. And if that's on Ziris, and I believe it is, that's going to be number 4. That's a big foul on Ziris. Tough call on the inside with 15:32 remaining. And he's been by far the best Dolphin player on the inside, and looked like he got a lot of ball on that one as well. So a couple of tough fouls called in the paint on Ziris, and 2 tough ones will send him to the bench now with 15:32 remaining, and Dolphins down by a score of 54-38. Second free throw is up and in. He hits them both. And it's now a 55-38 lead for the Spartans. Dolphins able to break the press now, as it's Cartalis handing the ball off to Destim. And now the Dolphins will look to set up offensively with 15 remaining on the shot clock. Mick trying to drive the ball around the baseline over to Cartalis. Cartalis' long three-pointer is good. Cartalis with his third three-pointer of the night. And that draws the Dolphins to within 14, 55-41. Roberts streaking down the lane. I'm sorry, that's Griffith. That shot's up, no good. But Carabello able to grab the rebound. Shot clock not reset. 9 seconds on the shot clock. Sudan baseline jumper. That's no good, but wide open inside is Carabello to tip it up and in. And that time the Dolphins not boxing out Carabello, able to get to the basket easily and tip it up and in. Big second chance point for the Spartans, and they lead 57-41. Cartalis, Latunji, Destim now looking to work his way inside. They kick it out to Mick. He thought about the three. Now Latunji will put it up from 3. That's up no good. As the Dolphins continue to struggle from the three-point line. And it's the Spartans with the basketball and a 16-point lead as we're inside of 14 minutes remaining here in the second half, as Destim will pick up the personal on that one. as he'll pick up the personal, as you have an opportunity to see Cartalis drill his third three-pointer of the evening as Rigo picks up his second. Dolphins now with 4 team fouls here in the second half. Griffith to inbound the basketball now for the Spartans as they're able to work the ball to Carabello. Now it's Stevens with the basketball. Over to Roberts as St. Thomas starting to grind a little shot clock, and that time Roberts able to bury the three-pointer as the balanced play by the Spartans continue. They have 9, and you've seen scoring up and down this lineup. You've seen inside and outside scoring. Now you see a turnover and a 3-on-1 break is taking the ball right to the hole will be Marcus Stevens, and head coach T.J. Tibbs doesn't like what he sees as you have an opportunity to see Roberts drill that three-pointer, and the Dolphins find themselves down by 21 with 13:30 remaining. Let's step aside, take a break. 62-41 the score. You're watching men's basketball coverage right here on CSI Sportsnet, CSIDolphins.com.
Black on Staten Island, a top 5 wing joint in America by Food and Wine magazine. Serving daily lunch and dinner at the bar or on the floor. Perfect for family and group parties with top shelf drink and delicious food. From great times with good friends. Live sports and watch parties. To Staten Island's hottest nightlife. The Kettle Black features live music and DJs weekly. The Kettle Black features daily and nightly food and drink specials. The best Staten Island has to offer is at the Kettle Black. We'll see you there at the Kettle Black, located on 415 Forest Avenue, Staten Island.
We're back with 13:30 remaining. The Dolphins trail by a score of 62-41. And at Wagner College, Wagner has been able to pull ahead of the Dolphins. Dolphins went into halftime in that one, trailing by a score of 31-25. But it's all been Wagner, all Wagner in the third quarter, outscoring the Dolphins 25-12. And they now lead by a score of 56-37. Third quarter just coming to an end, and the Dolphins turning the ball over off of their timeout is the Dolphins with the turnover there, and Dolphins with their 14th turnover, only the third of the second half. They've done a better job protecting the basketball, but Dolphins really find themselves getting outscored by 7 here in the second half, 20-13, and find themselves down by a score of 62-41. And that time, it's the Dolphins able to come away with the turnover. Latunji, beautiful feed inside. That time to Destime, who lays it up and in. 6 points for Destime. 62-43. Roberts with the basketball. Now it's Sis. Handing the ball off to Stevens as the Spartans work the ball around the perimeter and continue to work shot clock down. Stevens, that three-pointer is up no good, and a nice play by Mick to come away with the rebound for the Dolphins. Destime. Now it's Latunji. Latunji backing his way in. Now the Dolphins working it around to Cartalis. He drives baseline, kicks it out to Latunji. The open three-pointer is up and no good. Latunji 0 from 2 from the three-point line here this afternoon. Roberts. Stevens now out over to Roberts as we're inside of 12 minutes remaining in the game. Dolphins needing to get some defensive stops as that nice one-handed shot by Cease is up and in. He has 11. He gets the double figures. And it's a 21-point Spartan lead once again. Cartalis, bounce pass, it's going to go out of bounds. And that will be another turnover there for for the Dolphins as we have an opportunity to see that nice feed from Latunji to Destine for the layup. But the Dolphins find themselves down 21 with 11 minutes and 40 seconds remaining here in this second half. Let's step aside, take a break. Dolphins trail by a score of 64-43. You're watching men's basketball coverage right here on CSI Sportsnet, CSIDolphins.com.
Is damaged, where you take it is your decision. But insurance companies would like you to think otherwise. While they may have a lot of pull, it may not always be in the best interest of your car. Your car will be fixed right and on time. What insurance company can argue with that?
Call Dependable Auto Body at 718-44.
We're back here at the tank at the College of Staten Island, and the Dolphins find themselves down 19 with 11 minutes and 40 seconds remaining. So if they're going to work their way back into the game, first thing they're going to have to do is find a way to slow down this St. Thomas offense, as St. Thomas has done a nice job. They've been able to get the ball inside. Carabello has been effective in there for them, as has Cease. And they've opened their lead up over 20 on a couple of occasions and now lead by 19 with the basketball with 11 minutes and 30 seconds remaining here in the second half. Stevens working the ball in the corner. The baseline jumper that time is up. No good. Mick with the basketball now for the Dolphins. Mick putting out his dribble behind the three-point line. Now Velasquez with some room. That three-pointer is up. No good. And Griffith there to grab the rebound for the Spartans. Stevens thought about the three-pointer. Kicks it inside now to Cease. Now in the corner over to Griffith. Now Singleton. One extra pass now over to Griffith now with 15 seconds. And we're going to have a whistle and a foul on the Dolphins. So it'll be St. Thomas to inbound the basketball. Actually, it looks like we're going to have an offensive foul. Not sure what the call was there, but the Dolphins come away with the basketball now. Inside now to Latunji. Nice reverse layup is up and in. Latunji now with 13, as it's a 64-45 game. 10 minutes, 30 seconds remaining here in the second half. Stevens with the basketball. Singleton, Griffith fakes the three-pointer, now works his way inside. Nice pass inside. Sis misses the layup. Delahanty tips the ball over to Mick, and here comes the Dolphins. Velasquez, Mick, Cortalis now out at the three-point line, and he'll back up, and the Dolphins will set up with 18 on the shot clock. Mick with the basketball. Delahanty now at the top of the key. Now Cortalis. Latunji jumper from the top of the key. That's no good. And it's Gilbert there to grab the rebound. Avanti Gilbert, the 6'6 freshman from Patterson, checking into the game. Stevens with that three-pointer. That's no good. And Mick there to grab the rebound, and he'll be fouled in the backcourt, that time by the Spartans. Have an opportunity to see that nice reverse layup by Latunji as he picked up points 12 and 13. As that last foul is on Gilbert as he picks up his second. And the Dolphins look to break through the tough St. Thomas press once again. They're able to do so. Velasquez backs up, takes the three-pointer, and buries it. Velasquez now with 8. That's his second three-pointer of the game. He's hit both of his three-point attempts, and it's now a 64-48 St. Thomas lead. Dolphins looking to trap. It's going to be knocked out of bounds as you have an opportunity to see Velasquez. Nice patience that time by the sophomore as he steps back and drills that three-pointer, as we're going to have a series of substitutions here for St. Thomas, as it'll be Roberts to inbound the basketball now with 9 minutes, 17 seconds remaining here in this second half. Boy, it took a while, but we got to 5, and a big turnover there by St. Thomas, and, that's what the Dolphins need to get back in the game. Is update you on the women's game. The Dolphins now trailing by a score of 59-42. 6:54 remaining in the fourth, up on the hill at Wagner College. Mick with the basketball now for the Dolphins. They trail by a score of 64-48. Inside of 9 minutes remaining, Dolphins play one of the top Division II teams in the country on the men's side as Velasquez drives in, and he's going to draw the foul, while the women playing a Division I opponent here this afternoon. So both teams really playing strong competition. That jumper from the baseline is up, no good. As Delahanty does a nice job forcing the turnover that time for the Dolphins. Velasquez, Latunji, now Mick along the baseline, but didn't put the ball on the floor before dribbling and gets called for the travel. He didn't like the call, but off the turnover, it will be Spartan basketball. Mick will come over to the bench with 8 minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Desteem, Latunji, Velasquez, Cortales, and Delahanty, the 5 on the floor for the Dolphins, is another three-point shot. That one's in and out. That one went everything but down for the Spartans, as now it's Latunji. Velasquez, the three-pointer. Big miss there. Dolphins an opportunity to cut that lead down to 13. As Dolphins try to come away with the turnover. Nice hustle play by Cortales. They tried to get the ball inside to Carabello. But we're going to step aside now for a media timeout. 7 minutes, 55 seconds remaining here in the second half. Spartans 64, Dolphins 48. You're watching men's basketball coverage right here on CSI Sportsnet, CSIDolphins.com.
Hello, I'm Bill Fritz, president of the College of Staten Island. I hope you will join CSI and all CUNY campuses on Giving Tuesday, December the 3rd, a global day of giving fueled by the power of social media and the spirit of collaboration. Many of our students have great potential to excel in our high-quality programs here at CSI, but they need your help in order to access them. On CSI Tuesday, we can change that. Just think what a difference 24 hours can make. Our goal is to raise at least $10,000 for scholarships. And to help us meet the challenge, I'm very happy to announce that our 3 volunteer boards, the CSI Foundation, the CSI Alumni Association, and the Friends of CSI, have each offered $1,000 in matching funds for the first $1,000 that we raise. Please take pride in CSI and consider being a part of CSI Tuesday. You can even get an early start if you like and make your donation now. No donation is too small to make an impact for our students. We are stronger together and strongest with your support. Thank you.
We're back with 7 minutes, 50 seconds remaining here in the second half. Dolphins looking for a defensive stop as that ball fed inside that time nicely to Roberts, whose floater in the lane is good. Big basket that time by Dimitri Roberts as that opens the Spartan lead back up to 18. Velasquez with the basketball. Bounce pass now out over to Desteem. Desteem trying to work his way inside. But that time he got grabbed on the outside. And we're going to have a foul called on Smith as he's going to pick up his second. That's the 16th foul on the Spartans with 7:26 remaining here in the second half. Destine with the basketball. Velasquez over to Cortales as he's able to work his way inside, and Dolphins able to get a pair of points in the paint there to make it a 66-50 game. Roberts working the ball inside to Sis. Sis, one-handed floater in the lane. It's good. Nice offensive play. Good high percentage shot that time by the Spartans as that pass is deflected away and stolen by Singleton. Roberts with the basketball now as he'll back the ball out, and Spartans wisely looking to run a little clock here as the Dolphins able to come away, and it's Latunji with the turnover for CSI. Velasquez, he tried to work it inside, the ball deflected away, but Destine able to come away with the basketball now for the Dolphins with 18 seconds on the shot clock. Destine with the basketball. Now Cortales, that long three-pointer is short. Good job by the Spartans contesting that three-pointer by Cortales. And the rebound's going to be grabbed there by Roberts. Roberts now with the basketball and 15 on the shot clock. Now it's Carabello. A couple of hands swiping it at the basketball. Carabello able to maintain possession, and now Cortales with the steal. Cortales able to drive down the lane and lay it up and in. A couple of back-to-back points in the paint by Cortales. Makes it a 68-52 game for the Spartans. Roberts, Singleton. They work it inside. Now kick the ball out to Smith. His long three-pointer is no good. And there to grab the rebound is Latunji, who gets it out over to Destine. Destine kicking the ball out in the corner. Cortales, that time with the long three-pointer, is no good. Sits there with the rebound now for the Spartans. Roberts. Sits now with the basketball. 68-52, the score. And that time Sis drives it down the lane and lays it up and in. Big basket that time. As you have an opportunity to see Cortales with that nice move against the bigger Carabello, taking it to the basket. As the Dolphins will substitute out a couple of players, Delahanty and Cortales will come to the bench now for the Dolphins as Ziris will check back into the game for CSI. As that free throw is up and in. And it's now a 71-52 game. So the lead back now to 19 for the Spartans. Velasquez driving it down the lane and laying it up and in. And one of the positives the Dolphins will take out of this game here this afternoon has really been the improved offensive play of Chris Velasquez. He's really building off of the game against Johnson and Wales, and that game Velasquez went 3 of 4 from the three-point line, finished with 9 points. He's got 10 here this afternoon as he goes to the free throw line and hits that three-pointer, but it's really not just the points. It's been the way that he's played confidently on the offensive end, and really night and day from last year for Velasquez, really playing effectively here this afternoon as we're going to have a whistle and a turnover here on the Spartans. As the Dolphins looking to work their way down into the lead, continuing to play hard here under 4 minutes and 45 seconds remaining here in this second half. As at times the Dolphins turn the ball over on that tough St. Thomas press. They've been pretty effective against playing against it here this afternoon, but at time unable to prevent the turnover. And Sudan grabs that offensive rebound. His second chance opportunity is no good. Nice rebound by Ziris, who feeds the ball out to Mick. Mick looking to lob the ball inside. That time the Dolphins making a conscious effort, and they have their last few minutes to try to get the ball on the inside. So it will be Dolphin basketball now with 21 seconds remaining on the shot clock. 4 minutes and 20 seconds remaining here in this second half. and the Dolphins trailing by a score of 71-55. Zeris with the basketball, a whistle, and looks like we're going to have a foul off the ball that time. And that foul is going to be called on 22. So that foul will be on Sudan. That's going to be his first, as that free throw is up no good. So Cartalis not able to hit the front end of the 1-and-1. And it'll be the Spartans with the basketball now, up by 16. Dolphins can't afford wasted opportunities, and see if they can get the defensive stop off the missed free throw. St. Thomas working the ball around now with 4 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Now Griffith with the open three-pointer. That's no good. But if you're St. Thomas, that's not a bad possession, running the shot clock the full 30 seconds down, up by 16. Mick with the basketball. Now Velasquez pulls up for the three. That's no good. Zeris going up high for the rebound, and he's going to be fouled. So it'll be a loose ball foul on St. Thomas, and we're going to have a whistle and a timeout on the floor. 3 minutes, 34 seconds remaining here in the second half. St. Thomas leads by a score of 71-55. You're watching men's basketball coverage right here on CSI Sportsnet, CSIDolphins.com.
Seriously, we're listening, and we want to hear from you. As part of CSI's AOD prevention program, we ask that all students please complete the college prevention survey that was recently sent to their .edu email address. Over the past 2 months, you may have seen some of our posters around campus challenging some of the commonly held misconceptions about the drug and alcohol use of CSI students. For example, did you know that 84% of CSI students reported no marijuana use in the last 30 days? Gathering information such as this and using it to better serve the needs of our students is the goal of our survey. Respondents will receive a PG Clue credit and be automatically entered into drawings for $500 in prizes. To access the survey directly, visit www.buffalo.edu/RIA/NYS survey SI. For additional information, contact the Health and Wellness Services Office.
We're back here with 3 minutes, 34 seconds remaining in the game. The Dolphins trail 20th ranked St. Thomas by a score of 71-55 up the hill at Wagner College. A minute 22 remaining in the game, and Wagner leading CSI by a score of 80-55, a game that the Dolphins trail by just 6 at halftime, as the Dolphins continuing to hurt themselves here in the latter stages of this second half as they're unable to hit their shots. As that's a open three-pointer by Griffith, and that's good. And that'll probably close out the afternoon for the Dolphins as they now find themselves down 19, 74-55, with just over 3 minutes remaining in the second half. Velasquez with the basketball. Driving the ball inside is Latunji, and he lays it up and in. And Latunji able to get the Dolphins back now to win in 76-57. 74-57, I should say. Griffith with the basketball. Griffith working the ball out now to Cease. Now he kicks the ball out over to Griffith. Griffith cross-court pass over to Stevens. Stevens driving down the lane, and we're going to have a whistle and a blocking foul called on Austin Mick, as Austin will pick up the block as you have an opportunity to see Latunji with that nice drive inside to pick up his 14th and 15th point of the afternoon to lead all Dolphins in scoring. As Marcus Stevens now will go to the free throw line as that first shot is up and in. 75-57, 2 minutes, 36 seconds remaining here in the game. For the College of Staten Island, they will be back this Tuesday night in action against City College as Dolphins will play CUNYAC opponents here in this 2019-20 season, and the first one will be this Tuesday night here at the Sports and Recreation Center as a nice move by Latunji to float that one up and in and draw the foul. So St. Thomas won their first 6, dropped game number 7, and looks like they're going to get their 7th win here this afternoon against the College of Staten Island, as the CSI women's team will be in action against CCNY at 5:30. Women dropping to 0-6 here this afternoon. We'll look to get their first win of the season as Velasquez will pick up the foul running down the floor, as the Dolphins will pick up the personal for Velasquez. That will be his second foul, team 6th. So it will be the Spartans to inbound the basketball with 2 minutes and 23 seconds remaining in the game, and the Spartans with a 76-60 lead. Roberts with the basketball as he brings the ball across the midcourt line. Sis guarded by Ziris as he'll hand the ball off now to Roberts, and we're going to have a whistle and foul on the outside. As that time it's going to be Latunji picking up the personal for the Dolphins. He picks up his second. That'll be the team's 7th. So Roberts will go to the free throw line to shoot a 1-and-1 with 2 minutes and 9 seconds remaining in the game. So looks like the men's 2-game winning streak will come to an end here this afternoon. And they'll be back in action this Tuesday night, approximately 7:30. The women will come into action in the first game of that doubleheader at 5:30 against CCNY, looking for their first win of the year. And coming off of a nice effort against Wagner College, trailing by just 6 at halftime to D1 Wagner. And Wagner able to break out in front in the second half. It's a nice feed that time by Cartalis. He misses the shot, but Latunji with a rare offensive rebound for the Dolphins to tip it up and in. That could have been the first offensive rebound of the game for the Dolphins, as St. Thomas able to lay it up and in and make it an 80-62 game. Ziris, as the open three-pointer is up, no good. So back-to-back offensive rebounds for the Dolphins. Their first 2 of the game is Ziris able to drive down the lane and float it up and in. And head basketball coach T.J. Tibbs is going to take a timeout here as Ziris with 12 points for the Dolphins as Dolphins continue to play hard. 1 minute, 26 seconds remaining in the game, and the Dolphins trailing by a score of 80-64, as we'll have an opportunity to take a look at some replays as you see Ziris driving the ball down the lane and laying the ball up and in. And Dolphins came out here this afternoon and they knew they were going to be challenged. Again, another top 20 team on the schedule for this men's basketball team here in the early going, playing a scrimmage against Fordham to start the year off and really, not picking their foot off the gas from that point forward, playing very tough teams, Nova Southeastern on the road, Barry University, Southern New Hampshire, and now a tough game against St. Thomas Aquinas. So Dolphins putting the tough D2 teams on the schedule, coming in, winning their last 2, and really coming out and playing a strong game here this afternoon against St. Thomas. But Dolphins really still struggling a little bit on the rebounding end, and a few more turnovers here this afternoon. And it's tough to expect to shoot 50% from the three-point line consistently. Dolphins around 30% here tonight, and we're going to have a whistle and a foul in the backcourt with 1:23 remaining in the game. So Dolphins looking to extend this game here a couple of minutes, but tough to see a path to victory. Down by 16 with 1:23 remaining. Roberts with the free throw, and that's up and in. And, we mentioned that this St. Thomas team, very good from the free throw line. And Dolphins have shot well from the line all season long as well. And St. Thomas coming in shooting over 75% from the line is that time a nice offensive rebound by Sis, and he's able to bank it up and in. 83-64. As we're going to have a whistle, and I think we had some type of problem with the clock there. So they've done a nice job over across the way here this afternoon, but the officials talking it over. I'm not exactly sure what they saw. The shot clock is at 27, and we have 1:13 remaining in the game. And St. Thomas continuing to press, and they pressed when they got off the bus, and they're going to press their way back till they're on the bus here this afternoon. And Dolphins again with another nice performance against one of a top D2 teams in the country. And never had a chance to mention it, but Tobin Anderson named the D2 Coach of the Week by HoopDirt.com this week. So Dolphins coming in and playing a nationally ranked Division II team here this afternoon, and down by a score of 83-66. Is that three-pointer by Griffith is good, and Griffith hit a couple of three-pointers early in the game that really helped steady this Spartan team, and buries one there to open the lead back to 20. As we have about a 5-second differential on the shot clock and the game clock. Is that three-pointer by Quartalis is no good. The fight for the rebound, and Stevens is there to grab it, and the shot clock is off. And now the Spartans will be able to run down the clock. So a nice job by St. Thomas. They traveled down the 50 miles or so from Spark Hill, New York, right down the thruway onto the turnpike. And Dolphins were able to go on a mini 5-0 run to tie this game up at 17, but a 10-0 run by the Spartans gave them a 27-17 lead on the Dolphins. And really from that point forward, the Spartans didn't look back, and Dolphins were able to get the game down to 8 points on a couple of occasions. And, in the second half, the Dolphins able to get possession of the basketball with an opportunity to take a three-pointer and get the game down to 13, but they were unable to do so. And in the end, just too much defense, too much rebounding by this St. Thomas Spartan team, and they used a well-diversified attack both inside and outside, and really hurt the Dolphins on the glass, and they're able to win this game by a final score of 86-66. So our next broadcast will be this Tuesday evening, men's and women's doubleheader coverage beginning at 5:30 against CCNY. Pre-game show will be on the air at 5:15, and then will be followed by the second game, the men's double, the men against CCNY, and that start time will be at approximately 7:30 or so. So for Nicholas Durst, my broadcast engineer, bringing you all those awesome replays all game long, Joe Foreman and Samantha Flecker across the way, and even the intern on the camera. This is Mike Babusky saying so long. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to join us this Tuesday evening, 5:15 pregame, as we'll have doubleheader basketball coverage beginning at 5:15 against CCNY. So happy Thanksgiving, everybody. We'll see you Tuesday night. Once again, the final score, St. Thomas 86, CSI 66. Have a great weekend, everybody.